Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I am your host, Saint. I greatly appreciate you for clicking on this video. I appreciate you more if you stick around and listen to it. Let's get into it. Not even gonna be long-winded on the intro. I'm usually long-winded. I usually say a whole bunch of shit before I get to what we talking about. And I just realized I cursed within the first minute once again. It's cold business out there. Hopefully one day when I'm getting sponsors and I'm getting picked up by somebody, it's something on like the level of where I can curse freely. I mean, cause like I'm trying to stop cursing as much. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm trying to stop cursing because I don't believe it's such thing as curse word. But understanding that one of the ways I might be able to get bigger is if I calm down a little bit on the swearing, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that could help, or maybe I can stay true to me. Because it's not like I go into these and be like, man, I'm going to say 1,000 curse words this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, that never happens. I never think about that. And to be completely honest with you, I never think about how many curse words I say until, like, I start recording. So, that's that. But playoff Sunday, super wild card weekend. People been saying, super wild card weekend, boy. Let me get some enthusiasm in this motherfucker. Anyways, yo, listen. So I done got my first two picks. Obviously, I picked the Bills to beat the Patriots, and I picked the Bengals to beat I picked the Bengals to win the whole fucking thing. So, but I am changing that pick, and I'm gonna tell you why in a few. I don't know when I'm gonna get to telling you why. I don't know when it's gonna come back up in my brain, but I'm gonna get to it. I promise you. But earlier in the day, we had I was gonna say Baltimore for some reason. I'm so sad. It didn't even dawn on me that Baltimore finished in last place in the division. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story real fast. A quick story. Maybe it's quick. I don't know. So I was with my ex one time, right? I had came back from college. I was in town with my ex. She wasn't my ex at the time though. I mean, like, we was off and this was my girl at the time. We went to a park, right? And we had just broken up like probably a month or two ago, I believe. I can't remember what it was, but we had went to this park. We chilling at the park at night. We was there for like a good 2-3 hours, and then we chilling at the park at night, right? We just chilling in my truck, and we just talking, and she was saying a whole bunch of shit that I can't truly remember right now, and that's bad storytelling, to be completely honest with you, because we could have went so many places if I could have just remembered that little detail. Can't. But somehow the conversation got to her saying, because she had said something to me that basically was just, in my opinion, unrealistic. And you got to understand, she had went out and had a child at this point, right? I didn't have a child at this. I didn't have a child, and so she was like, she had said something along the lines that she wanted me to be like perfect or some shit like that. Like, no matter what she do or what any dude she had ever dated to that point or after me, she wanted me to be the Prince Charming. I was like, that's just so unrealistic. Like, I was like, you want me to be your knight in shining armor? And she laughed and she was like, yeah, that's what I want you to be. And I just remember I remember that moment because I was just like, yo, some people just got like these unrealistic expectations. Because ultimately the relationship, like, period, like, because we don't even fucking talk to this day. Like, she hate my guts. And I get it. Now I know some people are like, oh, so you saying you don't hate her guts? So you still no, bro. It's not like that, bro. I don't really hate too many people, bro. It's like, you gotta really do something to me, like, for me to really hate you. Like, it's probably only 2 people on God's green earth that I truly have that level of disdain for. I don't really have the energy to give people that type of disdain. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get mad at you in the moment, I could probably get over it in like a good week or two. I could probably get over in an hour or two, depending on how strong the weed is, to be completely honest with you. But that's just me. But in that moment, I realized some people's expectations of people is just ridiculous. You know, she didn't want me to grow. She didn't want me, because I feel like I was a child in that moment. I'm nowhere near what I am today, what I was in that moment, right? I was still a child growing and shit. And so I just want people, I'm saying that to say, we looking at Joe Burrow, right? And we got these, and much like she had for me, I have these unrealistic expectations because I want to slow it down, because I feel like I kind of put a, today opened my eyes that the unrealistic expectations that I put on the Bengals in my prediction for the Super Bowl. The Bengals not winning the Super Bowl. And that's not me saying that because I don't like the Bengals or because I'm a Ravens fan. No. If you look at the show, if you listen to the show, you know I'm not. I try to leave my bias out of it, except for when it comes to Cleveland. They some trash. Well, Baker some trash. But I wanted the Bengals to basically be like white knights, basically. I thought they was going to. But then I'm starting to see after this game against Oakland today, they got to grow. Yes, today they got their first win in 31 years for the franchise in the playoffs, and I'm happy for them for that. But this team, the expectations that I had put on them a couple videos ago, I want to slow them down. Because as great as Joe Burrow I think he is and is going to be as great as Jamar Chase is, today kind of showed me that they not ready yet. Because they beat a team they way better than the Raiders. But they didn't play like they was way better than the Raiders today. They started off the game strong. They started off the game great. I liked it. I loved it. But then they fizzled out. And it made me realize, as good as this team is, as great as the weapons is on this team, they still got to grow. They still got to mature. They still got to figure out ways. And listen, they won the game, so I know I'm talking like somebody who just saw the Bengals lose. But I didn't see them lose. I did see them, however, put up just 26 points, I believe, today. And listen, I'm not scoffing at 26 like, oh, they only put up 26. They could have lost this game if the Raiders, because the reason the Raiders lost this game is because their inability to score in the red zone and the offensive line. You take away those two problems, I'm almost certain the Raiders won this game today. I'm almost certain. The Raiders defense played way better than I imagined they was going to play today. Way better. Max Crosby is a problem, and he was an example if you watch the game where sacks is not the only thing that matters. It's so many things that a defensive player, a defensive end in his case, can do to change a game or make plays in a game other than just getting sacks. And I feel like you should know that by now. But some people who watch this, it might be some people who watch this in the future or watching it now who you might think the only thing that matters is sacks. I'm here to tell you the only thing that matters is not sacks. It's great if they can get a sack. It's even better if they can get a sack, a strip fumble or whatever. But sacks are not the only thing that matters. The pressures that you can put on a quarterback, making them readjust their throws or pulling it down and having to pick a new option. We always talk about the longer the quarterback get, the more possible it is for somebody to get open. Well, I mean, if you got a quarterback running around for his life because of a pass rusher, it's a good possibility that he can make a mistake also. So, I think the Raiders played as great a game as they could possibly play. I mean, you're looking at a team that could have easily threw 40 on the board. Like, this is a Bengals team that done put up 40 points multiple times this year. Done put up 30 points multiple times this year. And I understand they got some bad losses this season. Every good team so far, except for the Chiefs, really, got bad. Unless you want to consider the Chiefs' blowout loss against the Bills a bad loss. But I don't really consider that a bad loss in the sense of that wasn't against a bad team. It's a lot of the teams in the playoffs right now. Almost every single team in the playoffs lost to a bad team in the AFC, on the AFC side. And maybe the Bills didn't either. No, the Bills lost to the fucking Jags, I think. Yeah, the Bills lost to the Jags. But when I say, because some people might be like, man, that story you told didn't even make no fucking sense. Well, maybe it didn't, but I'm thinking in the sense that giving somebody expectations just far too high, like not understanding the process. Like one day Joe Burrow, and it could be next year, I just do not think, because I was kind of a prisoner of the moment when I made that pick also, because I do not think that the Bengals are going to get to Super Bowl. This was a great win for the Bengals. I'm so happy they got this win because I'm a big fan of Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. And I come to the realization that I might be a bigger fan of Jamar Chase than I am Joe Burrow. I haven't figured it out yet, to be completely honest with you. Yo, I watched this funny ass video today. I think the dude's name is Chiseled Adonis. That's gotta be his name. Yeah, because it felt like that was his name. It came off the tongue kind of slow, but it felt right. Chiseled Adonis. Yeah, that's gotta be his name. I watched him make a video on the Detroit dude, the dude who do the safety tips in Detroit, who be trying to teach y'all how to not get shot or some shit like that when somebody got a gun on you. Hey, I gotta check that video out. My man's is 1,000% correct, man. The only thing that's how you gonna see God. If you believe in God, you about to see him, because there ain't no way them tips helping you from getting blasted. Listen, man, I'm just saying that video was hilarious. But I'm also say, bro, the hood vines and not vines, the hood, that's what they used to be called. Now I think they just call hood compilations, bro. Them shits is not the same on YouTube no more, bro. I used to could sit back, bro, on my couch, spark up a blunt, go to YouTube, play all the hood compilations and shit. Especially when they had the World Star vines. Oh my God. It just feel like them days is just so far gone, bro. Like, I be looking at some of these videos on YouTube now, like the hood quotation compilations. Them shits do not be funny, bro. And some of the channels that was making them religiously don't even put them out no more. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Shit's a sad sight, bro. Them TikToks do not be fucking funny, man. And maybe one day I'm gonna have to get on TikTok to help grow this channel, but it ain't gonna be on no. Listen, man, them maybe I'm not seeing the right TikToks come across it, because I don't get on TikTok. Like, if I see a TikTok, it's because it was on Twitter or on YouTube. Them shits do not be funny. All I'm going to say is Hood Vines was way funnier than these TikToks that I be seeing. And when I say Hood Vines, I'm not talking about them black dudes who was popular with the white creators, bro. I'm not talking about that little group of creators, bro. None of them motherfuckers was funny to me, except for the dark-skinned black dude. But the motherfucker like King Batch, not funny. And I'm not saying he ain't never put out no funny content. I'm saying that for the majority of the shit that they was putting out, him and those group of shit was not funny. And that ain't me hating, because I want this to be a positive channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about how the content it's just not the same. Bro, it's just like the cartoons, bro. Like, growing up, bro, I could chill on a Friday. I come home from school on a Friday night, bro. I know mom's about to get us some Mickey D's. We got the lava orange, you know what I'm saying, high C. She gonna kick us a couple high C's. Me and my brother gonna be in the room chilling, watching Friday night cartoons on Cartoon Network, bro. I'm talking Scooby-Doo. I'm talking about Kids Next Door. I'm talking about Johnny Bravo. I'm talking about, they might throw some Yu-Gi-Oh on that night. They might throw some Gundam on that night. They might throw some Zoids on that night. They might, what else we be rocking with? Ed, and Eddie, Powerpuff Girls, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Like, I'm telling you, bro, it was so many classics. I don't know what the fuck this stuff is that they have on now, bro. It's crazy. Now, some people might be, the Nickelodeon people. If you grew up on Nickelodeon cartoons, I think you're a goof. Cartoon Network was easily the best, and WB is where we was at on Saturday mornings. Like, point blank period. The only time we was fucking with Nickelodeon is when Zoe 101 was in. And I feel like Victorious was pretty good. It didn't go as far as it could have went. If Zoe, what's funny is Zoe 101, the mean female in that one is the one that's on Victorious. If they had gave that cast, it's so much going on. Either way, bro, what I'm saying is the quality of this shit not the same anymore, bro. It's just such a sad sight. But anyways, back to the game. I'm watching this game, and what killed the Raiders in this game was their offensive line. Their offensive line had a drive where they picked up 3 holding calls, bro, and they was holding. Like, and all 3 of them seemed to come on big plays. Like, bro, it was, for one, I just want to say, it was pretty insane, because it was probably like 6-7 offensive holding penalties. And most of them, or if not all of them, was on the Raiders. And I understand holding. I mean, I could go through plays and show you fucking the Bengals holding on multiple drives that didn't get called. But for the refs to kill so many big plays by the Raiders on holding calls. Because I said it was called holdings, but I'm talking about on that drive where they had 3 of them in like a fucking row. But on some of these drives, it's ticky-tack holding calls, bro. And listen, the Bengals got some plays go against them. Some calls go against them. So I get it. But my goodness, bro, some of them fucking calls. Like, I'm seeing people on Twitter throw pictures up and was like the Bengals refs came every time the Raiders make a big play. And they had a picture of the ref who was refereeing this game with a orange and black striped jersey on. Not jersey. Officiating outfit on. The uniform. Officiating uniforms. Because that's what them shits is, bro. That's what them shits is. Yo, I think I saw it with Steve Jobs, who said he wear the same thing every day and it's basically a uniform. I fucking agree with that. Now listen, I don't wear the same thing every day, but I basically do wear the same thing all the time. Like I got a t-shirt, throw on a hoodie, I got on some joggers, all type of joggers, Nike, Adidas, Puma, all type of joggers. Throw on some slides or some nice kicks, and we out the door. That's really all it is. I'm telling you, that's shit my uniform. I don't like dressing up. I don't like putting on jeans, pants. I haven't wore a pair of jeans or pants in like 10 years, bro. I stopped wearing jeans and pants when I got out of high school. I also stopped wearing dress clothes when I got out of high school. I'm telling you. I've been a fucking jogger, hoodie type of motherfucker my whole. When I got to college, motherfuckers only knew I was an athlete because motherfuckers always saw how I dressed, and I didn't even play sports in college for a couple reasons. The biggest of which, I kept getting hurt. My knee is trash. Anyways, I'm not ashamed to say I couldn't make the team. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just telling you what happened, you know. Anyways, my brother played, and we lived in the same suite on campus. Lived it up. But listen. That's not important. That's not important. Let's go back to the game. So, when I'm thinking about them expectations, what I was talking about, like these unrealistic expectations, how my ex thought I was supposed to be perfect regardless. It don't matter everything that done did there, blah. Yo, I was thinking earlier today, like, I don't care about like the history of the Bengals and blah. Well, I mean, some of this stuff, and I really truly don't care about like, oh, well, this time happening. Only when it's pertaining to a current team. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be realistic. All right, I have to be realistic because I'm setting these Bengals up to fail in my head, bro. I really am. I don't think the Bengals win in the Super Bowl. Today showed me that. But I do think the Bengals is immensely talented. I just looked at the Bills today. The Bills is really what helped me see it also. Because the Bengals got off to a good little start, but they slowed down. And the Raiders is nowhere near the best defense they're going to see in these playoffs. Trust me. And I think that they could win these matchups because if they get the Titans next, I think they can beat the Titans also. Now, I think that's a tough game because I do think Mike Vrabel is an unbelievable head coach who done shown he can. I mean, the motherfucker beat Tom Brady. He retired Brady out of New England. You know what I'm saying? So Vrabel beat a red-hot Baltimore Ravens going into the playoffs. So, and Derrick Henry could be back. Now, I'm one of them dudes who like, yo, let dudes get their legs under them. Like, don't go crazy on them in their first game back. But maybe he been working towards, coming back to go crazy in his first game. I don't know. But I would take the Titans in that game, even though I like Burrow more than I like, Tannehill. It's just Tannehill done been in these moments. Tannehill done been in these games. And when I'm thinking about what I said when I said I think the Bengals going to win the whole damn thing, it's just not smart making that pick. Because, I mean, if they do, what a fucking shock. But I can't sit here and act like it wouldn't be a shock if the Bengals won that whole thing, man. And a lot of things brought me to this conclusion, because I'm looking at these teams that they might have to play, but that they certainly going to have to play a couple of these teams. I would take the Titans over the Bengals, right? Because the only two teams that I would take the Bengals over in the playoffs was the Raiders. For one reason, I think the Raiders was the second worst team in the AFC playoffs, and I don't really think that they should have gotten in. It's just Brandon Staley coached the Chargers out of the fucking playoffs, basically. The Chargers are a better team than the Raiders, but Brandon Staley made a lot of dickhead coaching moves down the stretch that just continued to build on top of each other, and it cost them their spot in the playoffs, and it really just fucked up their whole vibe and momentum. Like, it's actually pretty crazy if you really go back and look at like the collapse of the Chargers. Like, because this was to me a collapse for the Chargers this year. There's no two ways around it. They should have been a playoff team. They didn't have key injuries to key players like some of these other teams had. Hell, this is a season that Derwin James actually played the majority of the season. So, you know, this is, to me, it was a collapse by the Chargers. But when I'm looking at, to me, the Raiders was a team that I picked. Obviously, I picked the Bengals to beat them, but I thought the Raiders was a bad team, because I'm just looking at that team, and like I said, Derek Carr would be my MVP, even though his numbers ain't nowhere near as good as some of these other dudes. It's just when you have to go through what Derek Carr had to go through and overcome, and you make the playoffs, regardless if I think they should have been in there or not, they got there. And to me, that's big. That is a most valuable player. So regardless of how I feel about that, I just don't think the Raiders was nowhere near as good a team as the Bengals. However, I believe that I over-exaggerated the Bengals' greatness, because I'm looking at this game. I watched the entirety of both of these games. That's a beauty in only having two games on. But watching this game, and what I liked about the Bengals in this game, and what the reason I know the Bengals going to be dangerous for a long time, you looking at this game and you know this is a team that want to beat you over the top, like they want to go deep down the field. What I liked in this game is that Joe Burrow, when he realized, you know, they're not giving me these deep passes and shit, he just took the intermediate passes. He took the short routes, and, you know, he did all that. Now, they didn't put up the points. Like, it's kind of funny, because I was talking about the Chiefs. Like, I know Pat eventually getting tired of having to check it down, and, you know, the Bengals didn't really look as explosive, or they didn't look like themselves. They didn't look like the Bengals usually look on offense. And I talked about early in the season how the Bengals look like three different teams at times. Where they look like they just, I don't even want to say they look bad. They just didn't look, because they just didn't look. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was because the playoff jitter started to come in a little bit. I don't know. Because I even think the coaching got tight at the end of the game. I mean, your dude passing the ball good. He doing what he got to do. Joe Burrow was having a good game. I don't know why you go so run heavy at the end of that game. Just try to pick up the first fucking down. Pass the ball. Do what you've been doing the whole game. Like, I hate it when coaches get tight and start to play not to lose rather than to play to win. Like, I hate that shit. Do what got you here. Do what you been doing to get the lead. Like, don't change up now. I hate that shit, bro. But this I feel like the Bengals probably should have blew. What's funny is I watched this game, and I didn't even feel like the Bengals should have blew the Raiders out. I truly watched this game thinking to myself, the Raiders win this game if not for the just multitude of penalties by the offensive line. The offensive line, the penalties really killed them, because the first drive of the game they was about to score a touchdown and the offensive line get caught. No, Darren Waller got called for a flag for a false start, and it backed them up and it killed the momentum. They had multiple drives where they get into the fucking red zone, or multiple drives took a long time for them anyways to get moving, or got killed because flags, penalties, holding. Like, it really was ridiculous, and the announcers kept talking about it on the broadcast. Like, you cannot, like, Drew Brees was calling this game with Mike Tirico, and Drew Brees just kept saying, like, yo, you cannot play winning football with this many penalties. Like, you can't do it. And I'm telling you, I said before, like, I don't like watching games with the sound, because like Shannon Sharp said, I don't like to be influenced by these announcers. But Shannon been doing this for years, and he been in this game, you know what I'm saying? I still have a lot of shit that I can learn and, you know, grow. So I watch it with the sound on now. Over the last like month or two, I've been watching it with the sound on. Because some of these dudes, like I always get into this thing where I talk about how some of these dudes is hella informative. Like, I'm telling you, bro, I get so giddy when I know I'm finna watch a game that Troy Aikman is calling, bro. Because I know Troy Aikman is about to take me to fucking class, bro. I know Troy Aikman is about to teach me some shit. I get excited for that shit, bro. Like, when I was in college and I had teachers that I knew was dope-ass teachers that actually taught me shit, I was so excited to go to class, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I had this teacher named Miss Trent when I went to AI. She was like one of the cool. She probably the greatest teacher I'd ever had in my lifetime. Like, yo, Miss Trent was dope as fuck, bro. Miss Trent, if you ever hear this, yo, my favorite teacher easily. Miss Trent, I already know that, bro. I fucking love Miss Trent. Easily my best teacher. And I had another dope ass teacher that finished in second place. I just can't remember his name for the life of me, bro. But he was a dope ass teacher too. But nobody touching Miss Trent, bro. Nobody touching Miss Trent. I remember one time this dude named Gabe was in the back of the class, bro, and he kept talking. His name was Gage, Gage. And I can't even remember his homeboy's name at the time, but they was both in the back of the class just talking the whole time, right? And we in college. And Miss Trent keep trying to talk to us. And this was the first day. This was like the orientation type day. You know, if you done been to college, bro, that first day of class, maybe that first 2 days of class is usually like you going over the syllabus and all that bullshit. You know, most of the good teachers will try to knock all that shit out the first day. Most of the ignorant teachers will knock that shit out in the first couple minutes and have your ass doing assignments in the first within the first 30 minutes of class. But Miss Trent was like, we was vibing, like she was going over everything sounded like she was really cool, bro. And these motherfuckers, Gage and his homie, just would not shut the fuck up. And at one point in time, Miss Trent was talking, and I guess she just got sick of that shit. And out of nowhere, she was like, God damn it, Gage, shut the fuck up. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I put that on my life. I'm not bullshitting with you. That a college teacher said that on my life. That shit was hilarious. That shit. Did she tell him to shut the fuck up? I don't think she told him to shut the fuck up. She did say, God damn it, Gage. Now, maybe just the ignorant in me heard shut the fuck up, but she definitely said, God damn it, Gage. I think she told that motherfucker to shut the fuck up. She definitely said, God damn it, Gage. I believe she said, God damn it, Gage, shut the fuck up. The shit was hilarious when it happened, because me and my boy E was dying. Now, thinking of that, bruh, so my homeboy E, probably my best friend E, that motherfucker didn't send me a Merry Christmas back when I sent him that punk ass. But we was sitting in class when we first. I'm sure eventually I'll tell the story about the first day me and E ever had any type of class together. But the first time we was in Miss Trent's class, I was sitting in a desk against the wall and E was sitting like behind me. And these was like long ass tables, so it was like 4 people on the row with you. And E was sitting right behind me. And I had on the Allen Iverson questions, the white, red, and blue ones. Basically the American flag editions is what I call them. And E's favorite player all time is Allen Iverson. His favorite team, the 76ers. And I be pissing E off when I defend Ben Simmons. But out of nowhere, I felt somebody tap me on the shoulder. And I'm listening. I lean my head back a little bit, and this motherfucker say, and I'm not bullshitting with you, it's so hilarious. I'm gonna have E on here one day. We get big, E gonna be on here all the time. E got a son now though, so daddy duties. And I lean my head back a little bit, not looking at him, and that motherfucker E say, if you got the questions, I got the answers, brother. Them things clean. I turn my head around, I said, what the fuck? He say, them shoes, brother, them things clean. And so, you know, the name of the shoes was The Question, the Allen Iverson questions. And that motherfucker say, if you got a question, I got the answers, brother. That shit was so smooth, boy. That motherfucker E, man. That's my guy. But anyways, back to the Raiders. Back to the Bengals. For the Raiders, this was a very disappointing game. I watched this game and I legitimately, I'm not bullshitting with you, I thought to myself the Raiders could be winning this game. Probably by multiple scores. Almost every drive. And, you know, I want to say something real fast. Derek Carr, bro, the fumbles got to stop. I think I saw a stat today that said Derek Carr, no quarterback done fumbled the ball more than Derek Carr since Derek Carr done got into the league. Now, it's one thing to be like a Baker Mayfield and, you know, be multi-dimensional at turning the ball over, meaning you can fumble it, you can throw picks, you know, you ain't just, you don't turn it over one way, you multi-dimensional. I got a multitude of ways I can turn this son bitch over for you. Watch me. Oh, segment. We finna learn. Hey, bro, let me try out my Stone Cold voice. It's a good thing that Baker Mayfield got a shit ton of ways, bro, that he can turn the ball over, bro. Can I get an interception? What? Can I get a pick? What? Can I get a fumble? What? Can I get this stupid son of a bitch standing in the pocket with two people rushing him? He's not paying any attention. Can I get a fumble? What? How was that? Hey, did that sound good? Hey, we're going to keep working on it. We're going to keep working on it. We're going to get it somewhere. Y'all don't even realize how much energy it takes for me to you know, do impressions now. Like growing up, I used to be so great at impressions, right? I used to do impressions all the time. You can ask my cousin Sherm, bro. I'm not bullshitting with you. I used to do impressions all the time. I could do Obama impressions, Kevin Hart impressions, Bernie Mac impressions, Steve Harvey impressions, Chris Tucker impressions. I could do impressions of damn near everybody, bro. Somewhere along the line, I stopped practicing impressions because I was seeing celebrities do it, and I was like, yo, he's so good at impressions. And I don't mean to be sexist or no shit like that. I just haven't seen a female do impressions, and if I did, it wasn't memorable enough for me to say nothing about it. But I'm thinking about people like Bill Hader, Jay Farrell. Them motherfuckers is pretty good at some of the impressions that they do. And so somewhere along the lines, I became bad at impressions. But we gonna figure this shit out, bro. I want to get that Stone Cold shit down, man. Because I be watching the Pat McAfee show, no surprise. They be killing me. What? They be killing me with that shit, bro. That show gotta win a fucking award or some shit like that, right? That show gotta win an award. Why? That Ty be killing me with that shit, like, I don't know. Why? And Pat just going, can I get a vodka? What? A bear? What? They be killing me with that shit. Give me a hell yeah. Hey, they gotta have the best Stone Cold impression in the bit. Bro, it was somebody who came on Inside the NBA, or Inside the NBA on TNT, I believe that's the name of the show. I hope I'm not getting it wrong. That's a dope ass show with Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, and E, and Ernie. Bro, somebody came on there and did a Charles Barkley impression. I'm not talking about Frank Caliendo. Frank Caliendo was pretty good at impressions too. But I'm talking about it's this other dude who came on and did a Charles Barkley impression. That motherfucker sounded just like Charles Barkley, bro. That shit was crazy, bro. But cause I be seeing, I think who is it? Kenan Thompson, who do Charles Barkley impressions on SNL. Yo, that shit is terrible. And like I say, bro, I'm not trying to be like, I don't want this to be a channel where we hating on people and shit like that. I like to celebrate celebrities. Keenan Allen been on SNL for a long time. Like his What's Up with That shit is lit. But his impersonations of Charles Barkley is atrocious, bro. The only line I like is when he say terrible. Like, that's terrible, Shaq. That's the only, and I done heard people do it better than him. Either way, Kenan Thompson is a GOAT in his own right, as is Keenan Allen. But again, back to the game. So, like, I'm looking at this Raiders game and I'm thinking about all the different ways they could be winning this game. Now, Derek Carr, bro, like I was just saying, we gotta get this fumbling issue fixed, because his first year with John Gruden, I believe it was, or his second one, he had an interception problem. And I love Derek Carr. I know what Derek Carr is. Like I said multiple times, much like Jimmy G. I know what Jimmy G is. You do not have to sit here and try to preach to me that, oh, Derek Carr is not this, he not that. I understand all that. Derek Carr is a great leader, though. When I was watching this Raiders game, though, and I'm looking at how they lost themselves this game, because the Raiders actually, to me, probably played better than the Bengals for most of this game and could have won this game. What really opened my eyes in this game, and quick thing, I hope Joe Burrow don't become one of them quarterbacks that only throw the ball to Jamar Chase, where his legit best throws go to Jamar, and he just Jamar. Like, I don't want him to become a Stafford Goff type of quarterback, bro. And maybe he just doing this right now because he legit know Jamar can win these matchups or is winning these matchups. But I hope it don't come a thing where he overfeeding one dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he too good for that. But anyways, because it felt like that early in this game. And they was connecting and shit. And I'm not trying to harp on it right now. I'm just saying. But when it comes to the Raiders, bro, I was watching this game thinking to myself, like, listen, I seen the clip with Bisaccia and the players saying you're doing a great job, coach, and all that. And listen, that's cool, and I understand all that. And I'm not, I mean, you could keep Bisaccia. Now, it would be hard, I guess, to keep a dude who was just an interim head coach and then just put him back randomly on the staff somewhere. I guess that would be hard to do if you Bisaccia, I guess. But, I mean, we see coaches get fired and become coordinators again all the time. I truly... Yeah, I mean, I just got to be a band with you, bro. They got to hire somebody else. It's nothing personal against Bisaccia. He went 7-5 down the stretch, 7-6 if you count this loss in the playoffs. But 4-0 in overtime games this year. It was a good season, considering, especially when you consider all the shit that happened to them this year. The John Gruden situation, the Henry Ruggs situation, the cornerback Armstead situation, or however you pronounce Arnett, however the fuck you pronounce his name. Just a multitude of things. Darren Waller being out for 5 games from injuries. All the different things that happened this year with the Raiders. At the end of the day, to me, the Raiders could do themselves a huge service if you go out and get a high-level offensive-minded head coach. I'm talking about Bieniemy. I'm talking about, and somebody, I can't remember who it was, but a reporter, some analyst actually came to work and did their job the other day, and I believe it was on ESPN, and it might have been on one of the Fox stations. I cannot remember the analyst. I hate that I can't remember it, but maybe it'll come to me. They was like, I don't understand how Bieniemy keep getting passed over and people keep saying, oh, it's Andy Reid, when you see so many of these dudes who play under Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay get jobs. They don't call the plays. Sean McVay called the plays. Kyle Shanahan called the plays. But they get credit for being the assistant to those dudes, and they get these head coaching jobs. But Bieniemy can't get a job because of Andy Reid called a play. So the person who pointed that out, bro, that's a whole stack, bro. That's a stack. But the Raiders have to find, I don't know if it's Bieniemy. I think it's Bieniemy. But they got to go out and get an offensive-minded guy who can flip this fucking offense on his head. Because this offense is just not good enough. When your defense go out and hold one of them type of high-powered offenses to 26 points, you have, mind you, started with bad field position on like a drive or two because of turnovers. You have to be able to capitalize when you're in the red zone that many times. And I don't know really how to feel about Josh Jacobs, because I was watching this game and I heard them saying the game, oh, Josh Jacobs get better when the longer the game go on. Well, I need a running back who can get it going early, bro. I don't need a running back who can just get better as the game go on. I need a running back who good from the jump, who gonna provide for me throughout the entirety of the game. We might not be in a position where I had the type of time for him to keep getting it, you know. Now, luckily for them, their defense played great, to be honest with you, because their defense had multiple stops in the red zone. After they had their first red zone touchdown that they gave up, they was solid after that. Like, you really can't get mad at what the Raiders defense is. Considering what the Raiders defense is, what they came out here and did against this type of offense, you really can't complain. I mean, you got to understand, the Bengals can hit you in a lot of different ways. We talk a lot about Jamar Chase. T. Higgins was rated higher than him. T. Higgins was like the 8th rated receiver in the league, and Jamar Chase was 11th. And they still got a great tight end in, is it Uzmanzada? I can't remember what the man's name is. Uzama. I think it's Uzama. Joe Mixon out of the backfield, who they hold on that contract because he slapped that girl at the thing. As punishment, they hold him on that contract because they knew. But anyways, when you looking at that type of offense, bro, and you looking at the fact that the Raiders held them to what they held them to, you got to score more. And then when you go back at this game and you look at the chances that the Raiders had in the red zone, you got to come away with 6 points. And the fact that your defense was holding them to 3 points in the break. And so I guess you got to. And Jesse Bates, I think it's Jesse Bates the third for the Bengals. I know his name is Jesse Bates. I cannot remember, though, if it's the second or the third. I think it's Jesse Bates the third. That motherfucker is a stud. He been a stud for about 2 years now, but he made some big plays for the defense today. And Trey Hendricks, the defensive lineman for the Bengals, stud also. But I fuck with Jesse Bates. That motherfucker is different. But I'm looking at, even though he wasn't even the best safety on this day. Shout out Micah Hyde. We're going to get to him. But I'm looking at the Raiders defense. They got so many key stops. And like I said, you got to get a defense for the Bengals credit for getting their stops too. But the Bengals was having to work for they. Like, the Bengals was giving up full drives on, these motherfuckers was moving down the field on the Bengals, and the Bengals ended up getting stops. The fucking Raiders getting stops when they already in bad field position. Like, they didn't give up the majority of the yards, but they starting to drive in bad field position already, and forcing field goals. Like, that's big. They had so many stops that could, if they don't get these stops, like if these 3 turn into 7, this is a completely different score. Like, this is an ass whooping. But if their offense could have scored the 8 points and turned those 3 into 7, it's either a tie game or they winning. Like, that's why I think if you the Raiders, if you don't get rid of Derek Carr in the offseason, like if Derek Carr is who you stick with, which I think he should, that's who you should stick with. I don't care how you feel about Derek Carr. It's a lot of bad options out there that you could be doing way worse than a Derek Carr. Derek Carr, if that's who you keep in the offseason, which I believe they will, you have to go get the dude who can flip. Because to me, this is what you are facing. Either you go get a defensive guy, and you take 2 years maybe for him to get his defense good enough to where it can probably get you close to getting a playoff spot, or you get an offensive minded guru or a great offensive minded coach who can flip that offense and get them scoring a lot of points, who can utilize Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller more, and get this team who can get more out of Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs. Because like I was saying, I don't really think Josh Jacobs is it. I don't really think I don't know why I feel like this, but just watching Josh Jacobs, bro, I just don't think Josh Jacobs is the answer at running back. I'm keeping it a band, and that's not me hating. Just off of what I done seen, he don't really change life of this offense. Like, we keep saying they kept saying he was one of the best running backs in the league off of that one great year, but to me, you got to stack years to be able to consider the top 5 running back, or do the shit that Jonathan Taylor just did this year. Because I'd be damned if I don't say he a top 5 running back, even though they didn't really treat him like that in some of them games and refusing to get a man the ball. But the Raiders got it. To me, if you do keep Josh, because he a good running back. I'm not saying he a scrub or nothing like that. I just don't think he a top 5 running back. And I really think you could probably move him if you could get a good piece for him. But either way, you keep Josh Jacobs. Zay Jones had some flashes this game. You probably get rid of Deshaun Jackson in the offseason. You probably I think they need to try to make a play to try to probably bring Khalil Mack back in the offseason. Listen, if they can find an offensive-minded head coach that can completely flip this offense and get them scoring points, the defense, you just got to hire a good defensive coordinator. They'll figure that shit out. Like, it's a lot of great defensive coordinators out there that could take what's on that Raiders defense right now and make magic. I mean, you already got Max Crosby. And listen, the Raiders defense do need help. I do think it's some some pieces that they could use on defense. But I think you closer on offense because you already have a quarterback. And Derek Carr has to. Like, Derek Carr took a stupid ass sack on that last drive. And ultimately, it didn't really cost you because they did get the first down ultimately. But Derek Carr's pocket awareness sometimes is just insanely bad. Like, rookie levels bad. Because, I watch, what's my man's name? Tyler Huntley for the Ravens. Watch his pocket. And who is it? Bro, it's somebody else who got just as bit. Tyler Huntley got bad pocket awareness, but it's a dude who got just as bad a pocket. Justin Fields. Bro, go look at some of Justin Fields' games this year. His pocket awareness is and that's like a lot of these rookies. Because you can say the same about Zach Wilson. The pocket awareness for some of these rookies is god-awful. And it's because, to me, like I done said multiple times, bro, some of that college shit that they run don't translate, bro. Because you're just standing back there throwing it. I'm not going to get into that. But the pocket awareness of Derek Carr, bro. You done been into the league too long to still have this poor pocket awareness. Especially when you know you got a bad offensive line and you going against great pass rushers. Like, Derek Carr, to me, sometimes just it's like that Matt Ryan shit, bro. Matt Ryan just takes some of the just stupidest fucking sacks. And you just like, Matt, you done been in the league for a decade plus. You don't want an MVP and been to a Super Bowl, bro. You should not still be taking some of these fucking sacks where you can get rid of the ball, but you choose not to. You keep holding on to it like you fucking Lamar Jackson or something. It's absolutely insane. But the Raiders, to me, the fact that they got to the playoffs shows you, to me at least, that this is a bet. Like, I heard Colin Cowherd say, like, most of the teams that's in the playoffs this year won't make it next year. And I agree. I think this is kind of a weird year. You had a lot of teams dealing with injuries and a multitude of things. I think the last 2 years really been weird type years. But the Raiders can be one of them teams that make the playoffs again next year. I just think the offensive coordinator, you got to get it right. You got to get the offensive coordinator right, or the offensive-minded head coach. Because getting rid of Derek Carr not going to get you nowhere near a playoff berth again. And I'm pretty sure you in Vegas now. I'm pretty sure free agents will want to go there. But congratulations to the Bengals. But I watched this game for the Bengals, and like I said, man, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl for the simple reason. This next quarterback, Josh fucking Allen, bro. This dude just fucking cooked the Patriots, bro. 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. It was unbelievable. It was like watching somebody fucking play Madden or something. Like, Josh Allen had the sliders turned all the way up, bro, and the difficulty all the way down, bro. Like, this shit was insane. And real ones know that you can have it on all Madden and put them sliders up, and it changed it to custom, because it don't matter. Josh Allen was dealing. And it feel good to be a Josh Allen fan today, because I come on here and I salute Josh Allen all the time. It must be hard to be a Nick Wright type of motherfucker right now. One of them dudes who just religiously, for some reason, hate on Josh Allen. For some reason, Josh Allen was not allowed to struggle this year and have bad games and whatnot. So people was, calling for his demise and whatnot. Josh Allen looked like a fucking NFL franchise quarterback tonight. He just cooked Bill Belichick's defense, bro. Cooked. 17-47. Really wasn't even 17-47. It was really 10-47. Bro, I said all season long, the way the Patriots call these games is going to hurt Mac Jones in the long run. Because when they get behind, he won't know how to come back. He won't know how to play through adversity because they won't let him get into adversity. They're trying to coddle him and baby him all the way to the playoffs, and it worked. But when you get to the playoffs, these are the best teams, aside from the Steelers and the Raiders. But these are the best teams usually. That's the thing. That's why Colin said what he said, because usually this type of, anyways, these are the best teams. So you can't, that bullshit that they get away with, where you got to completely be dominating the game to call the type of game that the Patriots call all year, where they just dink and dunk all the time and, run the ball, play defense. That's cool. How many championships did Rex Ryan win? Because essentially what the Patriots do is ground and pound. That's essentially what they do. Ground and pound, play defense. And Mac Jones got, the dink and dunks here and there. Listen, Joe Burrow did that today. Sometimes, that's the game plan. Sometimes you have to adjust the game plan. Joe Burrow don't live and die off of that. And when you force Mac Jones, because like I done said multiple times, I don't even blame Mac Jones for this shit. Like Mac Jones, I don't want people thinking like, oh man, he hate Mac Jones. No, I don't even blame Mac Jones for this shit that transpired this year. I believe Mac Jones wanted to throw the ball more. I believe Mac Jones wanted to grow as a quarterback more. Bill Belichick did not give him that option this year, in my opinion. Bill Belichick treated this man like a rookie, and if you wanted to treat him like that, what was the purpose of you starting him? To me, Mac Jones should have experienced far more than he experienced. And every time he was getting his ass kicked this year at the end of the year, it was what it was. Like you could say, oh, he played great in a comeback effort. None of them was comebacks if you still lost the fucking game. You can make the score look good at the end with a bunch of meaningless stats and touchdowns, but at the end of the day, Mac Jones struggled at the end of the season. And really, you could say he started struggling ever since, like Nick Wright said, Bill Belichick demasculated his own fucking quarterback on national television. Now look what happened to the Bills since that game, and look what happened to the Patriots since that game. One team got pissed off and got better after that game. One team had a quarterback who lost all faith in himself and got worse after that game. That's on Bill. We give Bill a lot of credit for being the greatest coach of all time and all this different type of bullshit. Well, somebody got to get that motherfucker some blame for what he did to Mac Jones this year. Because Mac Jones might not have the strongest arm. He might not be the most accurate when going down the field or some shit like. You could throw all the different type of things you want to at Mac Jones. To me, when I look at the film of Mac Jones at the end of the day, Mac Jones didn't really get a fucking shot because of how Bill Belichick coached him up this year and Josh McDaniels. You blame it on whoever you want to. I'm saying Bill because he the overseer of it all. And you look at it tonight, even when the game was basically over tonight, they still basically doing check downs and dump passes and shit. Won't even let him push the ball basically at the end of the night. Like, I just think the way Mac Jones was handled and coached this year to try to protect him was garbage. It was garbage. You're not even coaching this kid. I feel bad, and I'm so happy Lamar didn't end up in fucking New England. To me, Bill Belichick's ego is what fucked them up in this back end of the season. Your quarterback, you should always be building no matter how, it's like me with Baker, bro. It don't matter how I feel about Baker Mayfield. You should be coaching your quarterback up to be the franchise quarterback. Until your quarterback proves to you that he cannot win you games, that he is a liability, you should be coaching your quarterback up and training him in practice to be able to lead the team, to be able to carry the team. You're not hoping that he got to carry the team, but you just training him and, getting him prepared so that if he have to. That's not what they was doing for Mac Jones in New England. They was basically coddling him. And I don't even want to say that because I think if you could sit down and you told Mac Jones to be, and he couldn't lie, like you gave him some type of magical truth serum or some shit where he could not lie, I think Mac Jones would have a problem with how that game was called where he basically threw the ball just, 3 times? And they was basically handoff type passes. Like I truly believe Mac Jones would say, nah, I didn't like that. I didn't like the feel of that. Like, I'm a quarterback. I'm supposed to be, quarterbacks got egos. They don't, like I said in a video previously, bro, quarterbacks do not train their whole life, grow up thinking to themselves, one day I'm going to hand the ball off 30 fucking times. No quarterback grows up thinking that. The worst quarterback in the NFL does not think that he will ever have to hand the ball off 30 times, even after throwing 60 plus interceptions or whatever. So and I don't care if Mac Jones is a rookie. You don't see no other rookie being dealt with like that. Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence turned the ball over left and right. And even as atrocious as the play calling was in Jacksonville and the situation that was there, you didn't ever see them force that man to turn around and hand the ball off that many times. Like, the demasculation of Mac Jones on national TV was unnecessary, a power trip, a ego-driven move. And you can say, oh, well, the way the weather was, man, the game, that's why he had to call the game like that. Motherfucker, it's been worse weather and far worse games. Like, get the fuck out of here with that, man. That was Bill Belichick being Bill Belichick, having that ego, I'm the best coach. And I'm going to keep it a band with you. After seeing him get his ass rocked like that tonight, it really kind of slowed me down on that greatest all-time coach shit. Because now I'm starting to think, yeah, you had Tom Brady, bro. You had Tom Brady. Because that's what I felt like when I watched Josh Allen just go 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. I felt like I was watching a team in the Patriots that could not do shit. Even as good as their defense was ranked, it don't matter. When Josh Allen decided today, I'm kicking the Patriots' ass and I'm not losing this game, it was over for the Patriots. You want to know why? Because the Patriots don't have a quarterback who could match what Josh Allen decided to do today. You see, I keep saying it. When you have to coach quarterbacks the way Kevin Stefanski coached Baker Mayfield, the way Sean McVay coached Jared Goff after that Super Bowl run, when you have to micromanage your quarterbacks, you can win a lot of games with great head coaches. But eventually you're going to run into a motherfucking team like the Bills. Excuse me. Eventually you run into a team like the Bills, the Chiefs. Teams with a fucking quarterback. Bless me. Teams with quarterbacks who can outplay your great defense. To where that micromanaging and that dinking and the dunking and the running, that shit don't work now. Now your quarterback got to grow up within a couple minutes because you didn't train him for this. Bless me. Because you didn't get him ready for this type of shit all year. Because you decided to play him as if he was still in college. Not even in college, because you don't even do this bullshit in college. Like, to me, what happened to Mac Jones this year, bruh, it was damn near travesty. Nobody gonna say nothing about it because it's Bill and whatnot. But he killed Mac's confidence in that game, bro. Mac played completely different after that. Listen, I already thought people was overhyping Mac just based on what I had already seen. But based on what he was doing in the first half, because he wasn't playing bad. I just didn't think he was what y'all kept saying. The second half of the season, Mac played bad. Like I said, though, I cannot blame Mac for that. If I'm a quarterback who got to turn around and give it the ball off to my running back that many times, I'm going to have some problems and feel some type of way also. So I just think that was hella unnecessary. Hella unnecessary by Bill Belichick. And the reason I bring it up is because I believe that is what leads to something like this tonight. 17-47. When Josh Allen just absolutely pulled his balls out and said, I'm the fucking man. It was embarrassing. Like, Bill Belichick went out sad. And Bill Belichick deserved exactly what happened to him tonight. Because this ain't on Mac. Mac Jones had 2 interceptions, yeah. This ain't on Mac Jones. This was poor game plan. This was a head coach who did not prepare his head team. That did not prepare his team. That's what this was. I refuse to blame Mac Jones for this. Mac Jones was not properly equipped for this job. You don't get mad at a dude for coming into... You don't get mad when you hire a plumber to do your electricity. Why would you hire a plumber to do your electricity? You hire an electrician to do your electricity, not a plumber. So you can't get mad at Mac Jones when you had him properly unprepared for this type of test or for this type of job. This is on Bill Belichick and his staff, not on Mac Jones. And it's also on the defense. Like, I'm not one of them people who, like to, give too many excuses, especially the quarterbacks, because they get so much praise and shit. But I'm not blaming Mac Jones for this. I can't. I can't. The entire time I was like, and it's funny because I tweeted during this game, I was like, Mac Jones going to have to play football tonight. Just based off of what I saw from Josh Allen within the first 2 drives, I was like, yeah, Mac Jones going to have to play some fucking football tonight. Really, what I should have tweeted was Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels going to actually have to do some fucking coaching tonight. Because people rave about, oh, Bill know how to do this. He game plan for this. Well, what the fuck was that? That was his in. That looked like Urban Meyer was out there coaching tonight. And I don't want to disrespect Bill Belichick like that. But somebody have to say something about how he did Mac Jones at the end of this year. Or how he did Mac Jones for the majority of the year. And how it just culminated in that game, which culminated in this game tonight. I think Mac Jones played completely different if that game never happened down this stretch. But because of that one game, now you stuck with this. Now I think Mac Jones gonna bounce back from it. Mac Jones seemed to have a strong backbone. I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back from this. But somebody gotta call Bill to the carpet. You never demasculate your quarterback, especially when you don't have to, and especially on national television. That's why I always had a problem with the Panther Ron Rivera when he had benched Cam Newton for that one drive, or the first drive against Seattle. And ultimately it ended up costing him. But I was like, why would you do that to your starting fucking quarterback? He didn't do nothing that was so egregious to where you got to bench your quarterback. And for the people out there who say, man, you got to treat everybody on the team and say, no, that's just not sports. That's just not sports. If you're one of those people who say everybody should be treated the same in sports and shit like that, listen, you're already telling me right now that you don't play sports. You've never played sports. You're just somebody who's one of those everybody is equal type of motherfuckers. Very ignorant. Because in sports, that's just not how it works. That's not how it works in life. LeBron James is not getting treated like a J.R. Smith. Steph Curry is not getting treated like Alonzo McKinney. You dig what I'm saying? It just don't work like that. Peyton Manning is not getting treated like Pat McAfee. It's just not how it works. So, Josh Allen. This was Josh Allen's easily Josh Allen's best playoff game. Not even close in my opinion. You think I will remember this Josh Allen playoff game for a long time. He just put his foot all, and what a better coach. Well, you couldn't have done it to a better opponent, Bill Belichick. That this game and this performance by Josh Allen looks like a growing up type of moment, like a not even a passing of the torch, because they taking the torch in that division. They will be running that in at what AFC East for a while. What this is to me is a we are officially perennial playoff team. Josh Allen is ready now. He done got through all those playoff bugs, playoff jitters, blah blah blah. He is a playoff quarterback now. He is ready to take that next step. And when I'm looking at that, I said to myself, yeah, the Bengals not beating this team if they play them. It brought me back to reality and to where I overrated the Bengals. Because the Bengals played against the Raiders defense today. This Buffalo defense, man, led by Leslie Frazier, this is a different beast, man. And I already think it's crazy that nobody on this defense made it to the Pro Bowl when that was the best pass defense in the NFL. To me, that's nuts. Michael Hyde. Bro, one of Mac Jones' interceptions, I can't even really be mad at him. Because Michael Hyde made such a fucking play, bro. I do not know how. You got to go watch the highlights of this game if you didn't see the game. And go watch Michael Hyde's play. Like, you probably find it on Twitter or something. Michael Hyde's interception. And it wasn't like some crazy spectacular diving or like... But it was athletic because it showed his speed and his range. And his ball skills. That shit was crazy. I cannot believe that. That was a touchdown. That shit had touchdown written all over. I don't know why the receiver played that the way he did. Like, I always get irritated when receivers choose not to attack the ball. And I guess sometimes the way you running and shit, that's why you can't attack. But I just feel like he should have turned around and tried to attack that. But the play by Michael Hyde was fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. And it's funny that him and Jordan Poyer made so many big plays. If you know what happened about after that they played, it's crazy how that game, what it did for these two teams. Because I mean the Bills they've been on one since that game. They've been playing with a whole new attitude. Josh Allen looked unfucking stoppable tonight. I think the man was like 21 or 25 for like 400 or 300 something yards, bro. 5 touchdowns. Last quarterback to throw 5 touchdowns against a Bill Belichick team in the playoffs, Joe Flacco. Joe Elite Flacco. Hate on him. This was an amazing performance by Josh Allen, man. I was watching this game, and early in the game, I had already said to myself, man, this feel like this might be an ass whooping coming. Like it feel like the Patriots about to get cooked. Excuse me. And within like, I want to say 2-3 minutes of me saying that, the Bills ended up getting a tip interception and was back in the end zone before you knew it. I was like, yeah, this definitely about to be an ass whooping. It's crazy. It's crazy how unprepared the Patriots look. Like, you talk about these Pro Bowl cornerbacks that got motherfuckers was getting burnt left and right. Josh Allen made a great throw to. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to the Raider game real fast, bro. On the last drive of the game, Dereck Carr probably made the greatest throw he done made in his whole fucking career. Chris Collinsworth and even me, I talked about how he made that other throw against the Chargers last week. No. He made a throw this game that probably was the best throw that Dereck Carr done made his entire life to Darren Waller, bro. The rope and anticipation that this motherfucker put this on was unreal. Now, with that being said, he did proceed to, before and after that, follow him with just atrocious throws. So that was disappointing, but I had to talk about that to get to Josh Allen. That motherfucker was throwing some dimes in this game. Like, the Patriots just didn't have a shot. Josh Allen played like he hated everybody on that Patriots team and everybody back in New England. Like, Josh Allen played like these dudes talk shit about his moms. Like, this was personal to him. Even hell, the defense played like it was personal to them. And I just want to say, the Bills' defense has pretty much dominated this matchup. I mean, the Patriots got that little win against them on that, Thursday night game or Monday night, whichever day it was. But they got their rocks off with that running. But for the most part, the Bills have won this matchup since Tom done left. So, I don't think that this is like a foregone conclusion, like, oh, the Bills gonna win this division every year. But boy, if they coach Mac Jones next year the way they did this year, yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. The Bills are winning this division every fucking year. And you know what I hate is that there's gonna be people after this game who really shit on Mac Jones. Like, people gonna be like, oh, Mac Jones, I told you this and that, and they're not gonna get that motherfucker Bill the blame that he deserved. Because I truly put this on Bill. I truly do not believe it's no bigger culprit in this Patriots disaster tonight than Bill Belichick. We give him so much praise when shit go right. How can I not give him the praise for this when shit just went so ultimately wrong? Like, the fucking defense didn't have a shot. They had no shot. The year Matt Judon had, didn't call his name. Josh Allen destroyed this team. This is one of them games where they never gonna forget. And what's crazy about this game is the Bills couldn't even. What's funny is the Bills legitimately could not stop scoring until the last possession, where they could finally just kneel it out. And if the Patriots had started calling timeouts, that shit just would have been. I would have been on here talking mad shit if they had done that. But the Bills legit couldn't even stop scoring if they wanted to. Because the Patriots would turn the fucking ball over and put them in great position to score again. Or they make a quick play that was a big play that will put them in great position to score again. Or they try to run it and the running back will make big plays. So everything that could go right did go right for the Bills tonight. This was an offensive explosion. If the Bills play like this throughout the playoffs, they headed to the Super Bowl. I mean, now I know what you're saying. If you don't think the Bengals is going to win the Super Bowl anymore, who is your Super Bowl pick then? I'm glad you asked me that. That's thoughtful. I appreciate that. My Super Bowl pick has been flipped to the Buffalo Bills. After seeing what I saw today in Josh Allen's eyes, seeing that hunger, that warrior, seeing that change, that switch, seeing that I saw in Josh Allen today, I saw a dude who was no longer in the playoffs. I saw a quarterback that led his team to the playoffs, who was ready to be the leader of these wins, who was ready to be the reason his team won, who was ready to be the difference maker in this game, who was ready to be the problem in these big games. That's what I saw. And he went out there and executed. And I'm telling you, it feels damn good when you do it against Bill Belichick. That's the respect that people got for Bill. But like I said, motherfucker the reason that they lost this. And he the reason they turned out everything went bad down the stretch. But the Bengals, the Raiders, the Raiders and the Patriots headed home. The Bengals and the how the fuck did I forget the Bills' name that fast? The Bengals and the Bills moving on. Now I'm not quite sure who play who next week. They didn't show us the standings. I'm pretty sure they'll have it up like either tomorrow or Monday. But hey, the Raiders game was a good one because it came all the way down to the end, even though don't know if it probably should have came down to that. It did come down to that, but listen, like I said, if the Raiders can fix a lot of problems if they nail this head coaching position in the offseason. I'm just fearful that they're going to hire. Now, I do think going into this game, I thought to myself, man, I really think they're going to just rehire Bisaccia for like another year, which I don't think you should do. I think that's a waste. Like, try to get your coach now. Don't try to wait it out for a year. And if Bisaccia is who you truly think is the guy, that's who you hire. But I don't think that's the guy. I think that is, I mean, if you've been watching this offense the last couple weeks, and I know I put offense on head coaches a lot, but the head coach is responsible for hiring the fucking offensive coordinator. Unless you on one of them teams where the organization pick out your staff for you, which I can't imagine why organizations would do that. Like, why would you hire a coach and pick his staff for him? What kind of shit is that? I hated it when the Lakers pulled that shit. Like, oh, we gonna hire Frank Vogel, but Jason Kidd gotta be on your staff. I like Jason Kidd. Motherfucker, what if I don't want him on my fucking staff? So I don't like it when franchises do that, or organizations do that shit, where they force coaches to hire people. Unless you're in one of them situations where, now I don't understand this aspect of it, but like if you got one of them head coaches that you like, yo, your coaching staff is so clearly a bad coaching staff, like you gotta fire all these motherfuckers and hire somebody else. Well, you see, I don't understand that either, because I would just fire the fucking head coach, because clearly he surrounded himself with bad coaching staff, so why would I keep him on? Like, it's not even a point of me keeping him on so he can resent all the other coaches that you force him to bring in. No. I'm firing his ass too. Why would I fire? Why would I cut off the whole body, save the head? Nah. Makes no sense. Cut the head off. So, the Raiders got to figure this the fuck out with the head coach. I don't think Bisaccia I don't think he the answer. And then, like I said, that's no shade at him. He did a good job down the stretch being thrown into that position. And I don't know what you do if he don't get the job in the offseason. Like, do he go back to being a positional head coach or a positional coach for the team? Did he go to another team? I don't know how old he is. I'm pretty sure he's not thinking about retirement. But, I don't know. I just don't think they should make a emotional decision and be like, oh, well, he did such a good job after Gruden. And, you know what I'm saying? Do your fucking homework and try to find a legitimate head coach. Like, I'm hearing people say that Brian Flores is going to go to not Miami, he just got fired from Miami. Saying that Brian Flores is going to go to the Texans, and that's going to get Deshaun Watson to play again. What? No shot that's true. No shot that that's true. Can't be. Why in the fuck would he just play when if he cared that much about Brian Flores coming over, bro? I mean, good Lord have mercy, man. That's crazy. I think Deshaun Watson is getting traded in the offseason, though. Where to? Not quite sure, but I do think that the Texans finally going. All it takes is a good year of being absolute trash to get some things figured out, don't it? See, the Texans, you can say what you want to about the Texans. They haven't been this damn bad over the last 2 years they done won a total of 8 fucking games. But they didn't expect to be this damn bad. Even with all them bad quarterbacks they had, Bill O'Brien was still getting them to the playoffs and shit. So they didn't expect to be this bad. That's all it took for them to say, yeah, fuck it, we're going to let this ego go and we trading Deshaun Watson. Now, it's very weird that they chose to do this in a draft in which, like, they say it's no quarterbacks or whatever. That's weird. So maybe they got what team are we thinking? Yeah, the Texans ain't getting no Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is leaving Green Bay still. But I'm telling you right now, if Aaron Rodgers leave Green Bay in the offseason, that shit is going to be hilarious the next time he come on the Pat McAfee show. And Ty on there, especially if he signed with a team that one of the boys like. That shit would be hilarious. That would be fucking TV for you, or internet. Ain't internet really the new TV nowadays, bro? Because, like, who pay for cable? I was thinking about this the other day. Like, who the fuck pays for cable, bro? I do not pay for cable because I don't fucking look at TV. The only thing that I look at on TV, when I did look at TV, was wrestling. But that's not enough to justify me paying for cable, bro. I find other ways to watch that shit now, like Monday Night Raw and shit. Which I just want to say, I do not understand how Monday Night Raw and SmackDown do not come on live on one of these fucking streaming services, bro. Like, the fact that Peacock does not let you watch Raw or SmackDown live makes no fucking sense. I also don't think the USA Network app lets you watch Raw live. Or the Fox app, I don't think lets you watch the SmackDown live. So the shit crazy. So I legitimately have no reason to have, cable. Because I don't need it to watch football games. I have different ways for that, but yeah, cable seemed like, it's funny because when I was a kid growing up, I don't think I could imagine life without cable. The greatest things in life were on cable. Scooby-Doo, Ed, and Eddie, you know what I'm saying? Ed, and Eddie really taught you the value of $1 back in the day. Like, $1 could get you $1 in happiness. Man, that $1 could get him Jolly Rancher, and that one Jolly Rancher brought my boy such happiness. It also taught you hustling, bro. That motherfucker Ed or Eddie, whichever one they was, I can't remember at the moment. Motherfucker was a hustler, bro, and I respected that. Every day he woke up with a new hustle. It's respecting that. I gotta respect that. How can I not? That's admirable. That's respectable. That's honorable. That man woke up every day with a new what they call it, with a new desire to grind. with a new hustle. They don't build them like you no more, Ed. That one motherfucker was crazy. The one who used to eat couches and shit. Dude was crazy. You got Rolf, son of a shepherd. Love that motherfucker too. They just don't make them like that no more, man. But anyways, with that, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Again, I am your host, Saint, and I appreciate you greatly for taking time out of your night, out of your day, out of your afternoon to join me, to listen to me. I appreciate you. I really do. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate you for that. I can't say it enough. I hope you have a dope day, dope night, dope afternoon, dope whichever point in time of the day you checking this out. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. We got more playoff football tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm going to be back tomorrow to break down the games tomorrow. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys have a great night. Saint is out.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know. They know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have.